Evening, everybody. It is 6:52 on this Tuesday afternoon, and I know it's a little late, but I actually wanted to see how the news got accepted this afternoon, and I wanted to see specifically about the oil, and that's the chart on the screen right now. This is your closing comment for Tuesday the 17th. We had a little bit of a flagging out here right up against this resistance, pretty strong resistance at 88. And we came down today, we bounced off the 5 day moving average, and tonight we're up $1.36, and that's basically the high. I'd like to see a close over this level. Let's see, this is 87.24. This is 86.94. So we're through that, almost through that. So somewhere a high close. Let's see. That one is 86.36. This one is 86.35. So anything above that would be nice. Maybe get it to extend back up to test that $90 range where we were roughly 10 days ago. Okay, so the market was a mixed affair today. Um, Really a whole lot of nothing. We started to the downside on the hotter than expected retail sales, and Bank of America, Johnson and Johnson, and Goldman Sachs earnings. However, the award for liar of the day goes to Brian Moynihan of Bank of America, who said, um, we're doing just fine, and we have a very sticky customer base, and although we have a bunch of long-term paper on our balance sheet with a loss of roughly 139 million, we don't expect to ever have to take that loss. Okay, I'm sure that you don't, Brian, but that's not the way you run a business. In fact, you may not need it, and sometimes you may. If the government, for example, raises the the retention rate, if you have to have higher reserves and you need that money, that's exactly what happened with Silicon Valley. They were too far out in duration. They needed the money and it wasn't there. So, spare me the, oh, well, we'll probably never take it. They thought at long term capital, they expected to never have to take it either. Didn't work out quite that way. In any event, B of A was up 43 cents prior to the open this morning for the pre opening comment. And it finished up 62 cents. So it did 20 cents better for the whole day. Goldman Sachs was up 45 cents and it finished down $5.29 or 1.68. Johnson and Johnson was 159.20 and that was up $1.67. It finished 156.18, down $1.44 or almost 1%. After the close, we had UAL, another inveterate liar, cheerleader, who came out and said, well, revenues were great and RevPAR and, 97 other things, except that when they reported their numbers as a beat, that was because they had lowered their expectations 3 times since they came out, and their earnings expectation for the full year, which was between 11 and 12.20, turns out now to be between 8.5 and $9.5. And frankly, I find that hard to believe. A stock that closed the day at 40.12, up 59 cents. and then traded down to 37.80 on that magnificent beat. And the last is 38.35, down $1.15 or 4%. I have a hard time looking at this company and expecting that they could earn $9. That's a PE of 4. I don't think so. JB Hunt with a miss. The stock had closed down 77 cents at 196.01, traded all the way down to 187. Last I have is 188 down 881 or 4.4%. And I don't know where Kramer is. He's awfully quiet about this NVIDIA issue. You know, it's great. They make money, and they are definitely, and I'm not being sarcastic here, they are definitely the one that if you want to play AI, this is one of the few that is actually heavily in the AI business and can make a profit on it. In the meantime, the stock is down from 476 a week ago. Today it hit 424, and the last I have is 438, down 22.95. And unfortunately, that's another unforeseen issue, which is the Biden administration putting a throttle on, or not a throttle, but a brake on what they can sell to China. So we'll have to see how that works out. In the meantime, the Dow closed up $13. It was 150 higher, it was 150 lower, closed mid range. NASDAQ down $34 or a quarter of a percent. It too was both higher and lower, although it closed on the high end of the range. S&P down 43 cents. Certainly nothing to be concerned about one way or the other. The one that was interesting was the Russell. It was the leader on the day, up a little over 1%. And that was on the basis of both retail sales coming in um, well ahead and industrial production also coming in a positive way. And so, that is emblematic of uh, manufacturing here in the US. And, clearly the US centric smaller businesses here in the US are represented in the Russell. So it doesn't surprise me there. Nat gas was down 3 cents. The gold was up $1.40. I also wanted to show you that chart because we actually still have a position in the GDX, the gold miners. So let me move back there. It expires on Friday, and it's really coming, towards expiration. But this position. We have an average price of $1.19, and we bought that right here against these bottoms, and we gapped right through it. And by the time we turned around 4 or 5 days later, they were no bid offered at a dime. uh, they've had this big rally again. This was Friday's $58 day. Then, excuse me, Monday we were down 7. Tuesday, um, pardon me, Friday, Monday, Tuesday, today, we were back on the upside, as I said, $1.40. We're right under both. This red line is the 100-day moving average, and the green line here is the 200-day moving average. This is a tough area, but um, with the options closing today, I think they closed around 70 cents. So we've really fought our way back. I doubt that I'll hold them past tomorrow, but it really is a nice recovery. I was thinking we were going to have a expired worthless situation on our hands. The silver was up 26 cents, which is more impressive than the gold today. Bitcoin up 45 after being up 1,735 yesterday. The dollar was up a little, and the bonds again were down 1 and 3/8. Tonight, they are up a little. Let's just see. I think they were up about 8 or 10 30 seconds. Let's see. Up 8 30 seconds, a quarter of a point. So, a little bit of a bounce there. All right, folks. Tomorrow we have a couple of things. Let me just make sure I have it right. I know that we have early in the day. We have mortgage apps at 7. Housing starts and building permits at 8:30. Crude inventories at 10:30, and always a market mover at 2 o'clock. The Fed's beige book. So there you go. I'll be back first thing in the morning. Have a good one.